Hi, good morning, Joe. This is Catherine with Damn Good Marketing. And you and I spoke briefly yesterday. We are part of the Leander Lightning BNI chapter out of Austin. And the purpose of this video is it's not going to be a sales pitch, I promise. This is literally going to be some tips and tricks on how to improve your website. And then what we hope to do once you get a chance to watch this, and if you have questions, establish a time to do a one-to-one where we can learn from each other about each other's businesses, as well as see how we can partner. And then it gives you a chance for us to answer any questions that this video might raise. So I'm going to hop into it. What we're doing is going to show you 3 areas of focus. I'm going to go over SEO, which is search engine optimization. And we're going to go over GMB, which is your Google My Business. And then we're going to talk about some of the analytics called backlinks. And I'm going to hop into your website, which is currently up on the video. And off the bat, I know you and I briefly touched on, that you could have some improvement on your website, but you have sufficient work right now. And like you had said before, this is a good time to possibly do a remodel of your website, just so if you do get into a slower time period, because it does take a couple months for the SEO to kick in. And what SEO is that has a lot to do with the content on your website. So Google's constantly combing through websites trying to figure out what it is that your services offer to potential clients and what areas that you are looking to service, as well as what type of opportunities that you can help somebody else. And they want to see a lot of value add. Your website gives your company name, but to be fair, I actually had to Google when I clicked on your About Us, it doesn't click. And then when I clicked on the quotes, it took me a second to be able to even figure out what your location was. I actually had to Google Frisco Lone Star High School in order to figure out that you're actually in Frisco. So just a little bit of information there is that I think we can definitely improve the content on your website and add a lot more information there. And just to top this off, Google likes to see about 1,500 words on your homepage. And that will also help with people finding you organically. So just to give you an example, what I did, I want to show you something real quick. So if I go in here and I do home remodeling, Frisco, Texas. And why I'm showing you this is how people find us now. We don't have yellow pages or white pages, so we rely a lot on Google. And what happens when we type these words into the Google search bar? These are called keyword searches. The keyword searches are basically what services people are looking for. And there's generally 3 areas that pop up once you hit the enter button. You have at the top here above this Google Map Pack is usually ads. So if any company is running ads for that particular service, in that area, you're going to see ads at the top. The middle section is this Google Map Pack, which ties into your Google My Business. And then down below is going to be all of the organic traffic. So the websites that pull up based off of the content on their website that Google finds them. So those are the 3 areas that we look at. So the reason I wanted to show you this is I know Red River Renovations actually popped up in here for your Google My Business. So when you had told me before that you were getting some pretty good traffic from the internet, it's mainly because of your Google My Business, because I did see you in here. And like you said before, you have 31 5-star reviews. That's amazing. But that's just part of the capture that people are going to find you in. So if someone is running ads, the ads usually capture about 25 to 35% of people for services. The Google My Business will capture another about 25 to 30% of people looking for services. So down below in all of this organic traffic, we're giving up about 40 to 50% of the people who are looking for your services. And so what I did is I clicked on the number 1 slot on Google's organic, which is going to be Elite Home Remodeling. Okay, so elite remodeling. In here, as you can see, first there's a call to action right up front. And then on here is just a lot of information up front about what their services are, what it is that they do. And this ties into the analytics on the back end. So the reason I'm showing you this has a lot of purpose. But as you can see, they just have a lot of information just on their homepage. And once again, why that's important is that that's showing Google all their services, what they want to do to help their clients. And tying this into the Google My Business. Okay, so yes, you are once again in the Google Map Pack. You have great reviews, but like you had said before, what happens if you get into a slower time period? You want to be able to compete with the companies who are also on Angie's List or running their websites through Google, and they're on this top page, since that's going to capture another 40 to 50% of the clientele. Um, but the other thing that, with this being said, is what other areas outside of Frisco do you want to service? Because part of the Google My Business can actually also get you local relevance in other areas. And the reason I asked this question is I did do home remodeling Allen, Texas, and your company did not come up. So you're being found in Frisco, but the question I would ask is what other areas would you want to be found in? And that ties into your Google My Business. The One of the things that we do with the Google My Business also is check what's called a citation, and that's how often your name, phone number, and address are online. And we want to make sure that everything is cohesive, that in all the directories that you might be in, that all the information is the same across the board. And why that's also important is it helps Google verify your company and your reputation, and then how often you're being found in different areas outside of just a Google search. Okay, so I've talked about the content on your website. I talked about the Google My Business. Like I said, those are two areas that definitely could use a lot more content on your website. Revamping it is perfectly easy to do, as well as, outside of Frisco, what other areas do you want to be able to be found in with the Google My Business? So now we're going to hop into something called Ahrefs. This is a tool that we use to do our research and also keep track of all of the reports once we bring a client on, so we can show you how you're moving up. And what it does is this top line is all the information we're going to follow. So to give you some definitions real quick, the UR is the strength of your website, and the DR is your domain rating. That is how trustworthy or popular that Google finds your website. So both of these numbers can go to 100, and unfortunately, you're not tagging for anything. All of the power here with the UR and the DR come from what's called backlinks and referring domains. And a backlink is simply put a link from one website to another. And then a referring domain is a high credible, high power website that is linked to yours. And what that does is it pushes a lot of power, and it shows Google how credible you are by giving a boost through Google. So both of these, what they do is they drive power to your website. Right now, it looks that you just have one backlink and one referring domain. But what that means is there's a lot of improvement that you can put in here. And this is where it's quality over quantity. So what we would do is go into your competitions and find out what type of backlinks and referring domains that they're using. Try to mimic them, or also go after some that are more powerful than what they're using. And this is where the cost and the SEO comes into play for that month to month cost. Once you get ranking on Google, you also have to stay where you're at on Google. And unfortunately, with backlinks and referring domains, those actually are cost per month, and sometimes can be an annual cost. So there is a cost to getting you ranking higher on Google, and a lot of that goes to these backlinks and referring domains. We talked about keywords. Right now, you're being found for one keyword search, which is home remodeling Frisco, Texas. Right now, I'll show you on your competition's website real quick. in here give you what these different line items are. Volume is how many people are searching this particular keyword in a month time frame. The keyword difficulty, that's the KD, is how this number can go all the way up to 100 as well, if not higher. But anything between 0 and 5, you can easily start ranking for within about 30 days to 6 months. And then the position is where you fall on Google. So right now, you're being found in the 92nd position. That means there's 91 companies ahead of you that's being found for home remodeling, Frisco, Texas. And then if we were to revamp your website and add in some additional content, that's where we add in the keywords so that you can be start being found for those particular searches. So the other thing in here is the organic traffic. That's how often people are visiting your website. Right now, in the last 30 days, it's saying that you didn't have anybody come to your website, which means it doesn't have any value. So let me show you Elite. And the other thing I want to also touch on real quick in here is how your title is in here. So we would definitely need to revamp your meta tagging, which is how you're also found. So right now you're home remodeling, home renovations. There's not a lot of access. So when we go in here, you see whole home. They're giving the keywords to their website can also tie into your meta tagging. Okay, so here is Elite Home Remodeling. As you can see, their UR and DR are significantly higher. They have almost 7,000 backlinks and over 420 referring domains. Once again, this isn't about quantity, it's about quality. So they might have this many, but it doesn't mean all of them are helping their website, but they do have some power going into their website. They're being found for 2,100 keywords. That's bringing in about 1,900 people to their website a month. Now, when we talk about people visiting your website, or remember, when you get 100 people going to your website, you're not going to capture 100% of them as clients. You're going to really only capture about 8 to 10% of that. So even though they have 1,900 people going to their website, they're only probably capturing around, let's call it 150 to 200 people. But that's still a lot of traffic that they're getting through just their website alone. And that means that their traffic value is just shy of 11,000. So each person that goes to their website is bringing them in money. I show you about their keywords and what they're being found for. So as you can see, the near me ties into the GMB. Anything that's outside of that is going to be or a national keyword, which is good for power, but not going to be so good if you don't have the location set. So like home remodeling Dallas, 200 people are searching for this. That has a keyword difficulty of 27, so it'd be pretty difficult. It would take some time to get you ranking for this, but they're in the #1 position. Not saying that this is where you should go, but just showing you the traffic based off of keywords that they have on their website, how they're bringing in so many people organically through Google. So this all has to do with the content on their website. All right, so I went through a lot of information, and like I said, I wanted to bring up an opportunity to schedule a one-to-one where we can answer the questions that we might have. I'm Catherine, and my business partner, Carissa, she is in Austin. I'm in the Tampa, Florida area, but we do run meetings in person as well as Zoom. And what we can do is schedule, like I said, that one-to-one. Don't hesitate to reach out. I will follow up with you first of next week and look forward to scheduling that time to speak with you. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks a lot.